Hannah, didn't you tell yourself that you were going to go on a book buying ban?
Yes,
And you were unsuccessful?
obviously.
Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you've joined me today. Guess what we're doing today? We're doing a book haul. If you watched my most recent vlog, you saw that I went and met two of my book besties, Keisha and Jordan, and we went book shopping until we dropped. We went to like 3 or 4 different bookstores, and obviously I had to buy some books. Most of these are from that trip. I will say some of these I picked up afterwards, but not very many. And I will say that a lot of these I got at McKay's, which is a local used bookstore, and I had a lot of credit. So basically they were free. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this book haul. I'm gonna let you know right now that I'm looking at this stack and I'm seeing that most of these books were influenced by somebody else. So whether you talked about these books or you recommended this book to me, these books were influenced by somebody else. So it's kind of your guys' fault. Okay, so the first culprit up to fault is my friend Kaitilin from Pride and Paperback, and I saw her read this in a recent vlog, and it got me very intrigued. And that is called The Appeal by Janice Howlett. She talks about how this is a clue-ish kind of mystery, and it's all mixed media. So, like, it's all emails and all text messages, and it's not your average story. It's very different. Look, there's like text messages throughout it, and I think that this is going to be a really fast, fun time. I don't really know a ton about it. Basically, there is a theater group and one of the castmates goes missing and they turn up dead. And the 2 detectives that are on the case are going back through the emails and the text messages trying to dig up dirt on who might have done this. That sounds so much fun. The next culprit is my friend Krista from Books and Jams, and I heard her talk about this book, and it's called Love and Saffron, and this is by Kim Fay. I know nothing about this book. All I know is the little blurb says a novel of friendship, food, and love, and honestly, that's all I need to know. And the fact that Krista loves it, and that's enough for me. Pug hair. Pug, could you keep some of your hair on your body? The next book I hauled was actually a Christian fiction, and it's called The Ark and the Dove, and this is by Jill Eileen Smith. I've never read a Christian fiction before. Actually, that's a lie. I have read Christian fiction, but I've never read a biblical retelling. This is a work of fiction, but it is based off of the actual story of Noah's Ark that's in the Bible. I believe this one, yeah, this one follows Noah's wife, which if you watch one of my recent vlogs, I went to the Ark encounter, which is up in Kentucky, and that experience was so powerful because it really told the story of what Noah and his wife and his family had to go through to follow God's commandment, and I just think that I'm really gonna enjoy this. Yet another Christian fiction that I picked up is called Up from the Dust, and this is by, I almost said by Martha. It's not by Martha, it's about Martha. This is the story of Martha, and I have always loved reading about Martha and Mary. I just think that their stories together are so wholesome and so powerful, and I really love Martha, and I really love the story of Martha. Her character I tend to relate with a lot throughout the Bible. So this is another one that I think I'm really gonna enjoy. The next book I hauled was These Silent Woods, and this is by Kimmy Cunningham Grant, and we picked this up together, me, Keisha, and Jordan, in hopes to buddy read this one day because I've heard really good things about this one. So this one is following a man and his young daughter who live in isolation. They live in this isolated cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and the reason for that is because the man has a lot to hide, and the older this daughter gets, the more pushback that she's doing because she doesn't want to be isolated. And then one day she sees a stranger in the woods, and she really becomes obsessed with the fact that she wants to leave. So I don't really know what to classify this as. I would assume by the looks of it, it looks like a thriller, maybe a mystery. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm hoping that one day we'll buddy read this one. The next book I picked up was a cover Bible. This is a judgment-free zone over here. and that is called Strawberry Lane, and this is by Jodie Thomas. I have quite a few Jodie Thomases already on my shelf, and they're all so stinking cute. But I need you to look at this one for just a second, because right now in my life I've been absolutely obsessed with strawberries and cherries and all sorts of things like that. They just feel so girly and sweet and wholesome. So I just love and adore this cover. What sold me though was the quilts on the front porch. Oh my gosh, does this not look like the cutest fun time? Starry Night is a big believer in fate. How else to explain the compelling connection she feels to the stranger she pulls out of a wrecked car on the very same road where her parents died 20 years earlier? Whoa, that did not match the cover. Next is the third book in a series, and when I show you guys this, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Vengeance of the Pirate Queen by Trisha Levenseller. The first book in this series is called Daughter of the Pirate King, and I absolutely loved that one. I gave it 4 stars, and I do want to continue in this series. The second book is called Daughter of the Siren Queen, and this is the third book, and it is just stunning just like the rest of them. And this one is blue. It has the blue sprayed edges, which is absolutely stunning. Literally all of these editions are absolutely beautiful. I went ahead and added it to my little collection down there. Look how pretty they all are. This next book is a complete influence by, and that is from my friend Madi over at This Bookish Cottage, and this book is called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. And she really likes the second book in this series, which is called Everyone on This Train is a Suspect, but this is the first one and I figured I would start with this one. Let me tell you, I read this little blurb in the bookstore and I immediately put it in my cart. It says, Knives Out and Clue meet Agatha Christie and the Thursday Murder Club in this fiendishly clever murder mystery. Oh, that's it. I'm sold. This next book, when I saw it at McKay's, I absolutely squealed because this is one of my anticipated releases of the year, but I didn't want to pay full price for it. I just absolutely love this cover, and it's called The Night House, and this is by Joe Nesbo. I've never read by Joe Nesbo before. I have owned a couple of his books, but then I've given them away because I just didn't really feel pulled to them. This one is just screaming at me. So this is about a 14-year-old boy that has already had a lot of trauma in his life, and he goes to live with his aunt and uncle, and he's just a kind of strange little lad. And one day one of his classmates goes missing, and everybody is kind of looking at him because he was with his classmate when he went missing. And the story that he's telling everybody is that his classmate was sucked through the receiver of a phone. How crazy does that sound? This next book I got was from the cutest little bookstore in Chattanooga that we went to, and it was really the only book that I picked up because it was an indie, and I really wanted to support this little bookshop, and it was so cute. And when I saw this edition of this book, I was so excited. And that is The Rom-Commers by Catherine Sinner. I have really, really been anticipating this book, and when I saw this edition, look at this edition, y'all. It is the pink sprayed edges. Is that not gorgeous? It's so beautiful, and I have not even... Look at what I just found. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna carefully take this beautiful dust jacket off. Look at this color, and then look at this. Oh, are you kidding me right now? That is stunning. That's stunning. She's stunning. Okay, so now we're going to go into all the cozies that I picked up on this trip, and there's quite a few. The first one I've had my eye on for quite some time, and that is Smile Beach Murder, and this is by Alicia Bissett. I don't really know a ton about this one, but I do know that it's giving me Live and Let Chai vibes, which is one of my favorite cozies of all time. I love that series. This one sounds a little bit darker than I was kind of expecting. It's basically about this girl who gets laid off of her job, and then she goes back to her hometown and gets a job at the local bookstore. Basically, her mom has passed away, and she passed away by falling or jumping off of this lighthouse, and our main character doesn't believe that she would have taken her own life like that, and yet the lighthouse has claimed another victim. So I guess our main character is going to try and figure out if this is foul play. I'm assuming since this is a cozy mystery, it's going to be. This sounds a little bit harder. This sounds a little bit heavier, but I'm hoping it gives me all those beachy vibes too. Speaking of beachy vibes, in the month of June, my book club unofficially buddy read the Live and Let Chai series. We started with book 1 in June, and in July we started book 2, and I knew I was going to have to pick up the rest of the series, so I just picked up what Barnes & Noble had, and they only had books 5 and 7, which is so random. I actually have a couple more of the series up there, so I'm like missing maybe book 4 and 6. I don't know. It's very random. So I will eventually get them all. So this is book 5 and it's called Closely Harbored Secrets and it's by Bree Baker. And this one is also by Bree Baker and it's called Pleading the Fish. This is book number 7. This series follows our main character who owns a sweet tea shop and she's also an amateur sleuth. The next book I picked up was influenced by my friend Keisha and it was so funny because she was there with me. And I know she really liked this book when she read it and it's called Assaulted Caramel and this is by Amanda Flower. This would be my first Amanda Flower that I've read, but I've heard really, really good things about it. I think that there are some recipes in the back for fudge, and you know I'm about to be all over that. The next cozy I picked up was Quilt or Innocence, and this is by Elizabeth Craig. I absolutely love quilts, and to me personally, I think the art of quilting is a dying art. I think that a lot of people just don't do it anymore, and I really am sad about that. I would absolutely love to learn how to quilt. I just love everything about quilts. So if I can't make my own quilt, I can at least read about somebody making their own with a murder involved. The next cozies I picked up were basically on a whim because they were pasta based. They're books 1 and 2 of the Tuscan Cooking School Mystery, and the first one is called Al Dente's Inferno. And the second one is called Crime of the Ancient Marinara, and this is also by Stephanie Cole. I love me a good pasta, and I love me a good cozy mystery. Okay, so those are all the books that I picked up on my trip to meet Keisha and Jordan. These are the books that I picked up afterwards. Yet another influence by my friend Madi, and this is called Small Favors, and this is by Erin A. Craig. I'm not even gonna lie, the more I get into the romantasy genre, and the more that I branch out into new genres, Erin A. Craig sounds delightful. I don't really know what this is. I don't know like what it classifies as. All I know is that Madi told me that I would really like it and her review on it was splendid. Ellery Downing is waiting for something to happen. Life in isolated Amity Falls surrounded by an impenetrable forest has a predictable sameness. Her days are filled with tending to her family's beehives, chasing after her sisters, and dreaming of bigger things while her twin Samuel is free to roam as he wishes. First of all, I love bees and I also have a twin brother. Early settlers fought off monstrous creatures in the woods and whispers that the creatures still exist keep the Downings and their neighbors from venturing too far. When some townsfolk go missing on a trip to fetch supplies, a heavy unease settles over the falls. Madi told me this is very haunting and very eerie, and I'm so excited about this book. There's gonna be a vlog come out about me reading Powerless, and let's just say that book has basically taken over my life. I've got to read this one. I'm prepared for the worst, and right now my heart is not equipped to go into this one, but very soon. Very soon. And the last book I picked up is called In the Middle of Hickory Lane, and this is by Heather Weber. I don't know a ton about this one. All I do know is that it's got small town vibes. It's got a lot of trauma bonding. I feel like it's between a couple of women who find solace in each other based off of things that they have gone through in their life. And this cover, I mean, how could we resist this cover? I believe Heather Weber has wrote a lot of different books, but their covers are always beautiful. And there you have it, my friends. Those are all the books that I'm going to haul today. I have no idea where these books are going to go on my shelf. All right, my friends, if you made it this far into the video, please let me know if you got any good recommendations for me today. I don't know if any of these books are good. I'm hoping they are. And just remember, this world is a better place with you in it. And I'm so thankful that you joined me on this side of the internet today. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And go follow me over on my Bookstagram as well at the Teacher's TBR. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!